Hi everybody, I'm Marcus Bean and I am here for our virtual Ludlow Food Festival this weekend, and we're at the lovely Redford Barns in Shropshire. As you know, this year unfortunately we can't bring our normal food festival to Ludlow and to the castle, so we're trying to bring something a little bit different, but most importantly we're trying to bring something to everybody on the social channels across all of Ludlow Social to be able to allow you to understand why Ludlow Food Festival is so important, a little bit about some of our producers, some of the people who love and support us, who come to festival, and this is what it's all about. So I'm going to be doing some producer chats over the weekend and giving you a bit of an insight into people who love and support Ludlow. So without further ado, on our next producers chat we have the lovely Camilla from What a Pickle. We've got some incredible bits here which I'm going to get her to talk to about just in a little minute, and this is your products here, which you've got some amazing flavours, and I know about this because we do actually stock this in our farm shop Brompton.
That's
so
lucky.
I'm already a customer, so we were on a good start. But how did you start in the business of making chutneys and pickles and all? Because you do everything. It's not just chutneys and pickles, is it?
So we've got a few. So we now have got a few mayonnaises that we've added to our range about 12 months ago. But it sort of started about 12 years ago. My children were all quite small. I really wanted them. I've been an obsessive foodie for as long as I can remember, and I wanted them to be as enthusiastic about food as I was. And chili was just, 12 years ago, it was just people were sort of the chili, the hot chili sauces were sort of starting to become popular. And I started with the tomato chili jam, which was the initial product, and that was the product I did just on its own for quite a few years actually. And it was done to get my children to like chili. I didn't want them to have copious quantities of tomato ketchup on their food. And I thought
something different.
A little bit of chili on their food would be really great. And so that's how it started. And then I had a friend who had a mobile deli delivery company, and she started buying it from me. And then I got a bit braver, and I went to some butchers and delis, and it grew. And it grew and grew to the point that I was making tomato chili jam pretty much sort of all the daylight hours. And I used to sort of start, my children were still at school, and they all went to school smelling of tomato chili jam.
There could be worse things they could smell.
Chili was called chili, and it was a bit of a family sort of bit of a joke. And but I then had to find sort of somewhere else to produce it, and then it got to a point where I outsourced my production to a really great local company, and then I started doing other products.
Wow.
And it grew and grew. We now supply, well over 120 independent shops sort of throughout the UK, and we do quite a lot online. And that's.
But you're of course based in Shropshire, so you are a Shropshire business.
I am a Shropshire obsessive. I love everything about Shropshire, and the Ludlow Food Festival has been a great sort of part of sort of what we do really. I started probably exhibiting there about sort of 7 or 8 years ago, and we've been sort of, we haven't gone every single year since then, but we've sort of we've probably done at least 6 festivals, and it is just, it's been a sort of, it's just a great, the atmosphere there is fantastic. We time a lot of our new product launches now to coincide with the Spring Festival and the Autumn Festival, and that really works well for us.
Well, a lot of time what we find, with obviously chatting to producers as well and everybody who's involved with Ludlow Food Festival, is the importance of that connection to the customer. So like you were saying earlier, you create and start a new little business. It starts quite small and then it becomes bigger, and you're always working every hour, and it becomes a bit of a zone where you just feel yourself working all the time, and you don't always have that connection with the customers. And I suppose what's so important at Ludlow, and what we've found with chatting to producers, is actually it's a chance for you as a producer to be there and talk and be passionate about your product and tell people about it. But also I suppose over the years as well, probably you demonstrating, you've probably had new customers come, and actually business has been developed, and you've built connections and friendships over that period of time as well. Completely.
It is that opportunity to talk to the customers, and you get that absolute first-hand reaction, and that is so important. So I'm just thinking about our fig and mustard sauce that we launched a couple of years ago.
Fig and mustard, that
I haven't
sounds
actually
delicious.
got that one here, but we launched that 2 years ago at the Autumn Food Festival, and it was just seeing the reaction, and you get it to a point where you've tried it on all your family and your friends, and they've given you all of the sort of feedback, but then you need unbiased feedback, which is what you get with, and because they are real foodies that come, they really tell you.
Yeah.
And so quite often, sometimes we've slightly adjusted things. If, you know, the same thing has been said more than a couple of times, we go, right, they got a point, and we do something about it, so that the final product that goes into the shops and the final product that we settle on is as pretty perfect as it can be.
And I think that's the thing. I think without somewhere sort of like Ludlow where you're getting that interaction, and actually the good thing about Ludlow, I think over the years it attracts a certain type of people who love food, obviously most importantly,
Definitely.
but they come to the area because they love the area and the producers and the fact the town and all the buzz, but also as well it, you know, it brings writers, it brings chefs, it brings creatives, it brings all sorts of different people. And you know, and I know when I cook as well, that, you know, if someone doesn't like something, they're quite open in that. They'll come and say it, but actually that's really good from a business like yours.
Completely constructive.
Yeah, so you can take that, and like you said there, you take a couple of things. Actually, if a couple of people said it, well, okay, we can take that on board and we can change it that. And I think that's the great thing about, like I say, seeing a business like yourself that's in Shropshire, that is producing stuff that's, you know, a little bit different, but also as well, it's about, you know, you've started small and you're growing. And actually now, you know, you're not only based in Shropshire, you're supplying lots of different people around the country, and it's great to see. What would it mean if we did lose Ludlow Food Festival? Because of course we don't, and that's why we're doing the virtual. But
I would go into a huge. It would be unbelievably sad, not just for us as the producers, but like you say, for all of those people who, so many people will say it is the highlight of their year. It would be devastating for Ludlow as a general, for the economy generally in Ludlow, because people come and they stay, you know, they stay in accommodation, and they will, you know, they all make a whole weekend of it. So it's not just really us as actually the sort of producer selling our products, but it's as a whole Ludlow area thing. And I'm not so sure people necessarily think beyond that. And it is very important to think, you know, how important it is for Ludlow.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, you know, the whole point of trying to create a virtual festival and also bringing fantastic producers to bring a bit of presence online really is to make you understand that we do need to raise £40,000 by December to allow us to get into next year, because we want to be able to bring Camilla back and other people and other producers that be able to bring those food festival back next year, which we can do, but we do need that help and support. So if you want to find out any more information on that, just head over to our website, Ludlow Food Festival. You can go on there, you can donate any donation you want to, but the advantage is it's going to help save us. We've also got some great things, and one of the things that is really, really great with Ludlow is that people support us. You know, we're trying to support the producers, and that's why the festival's created. But not only that, the producers also support the festival. And we were chatting earlier, and you've come up with Camilla's got a great idea about how we can do an element of support as well. That sort of, you know, so you've just tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so sort of one of the things I think that we can help from What a Pickle is that for the next 7 days, from sort of today onwards, I'm going to be donating 30% of all of my retail sales that are made over my website. So if you would normally come to Ludlow and you'd normally come and see me on my stand and you'd buy our products, place an order online. You can feel so great because a part of that will go back into the festival to ensure its longevity. So
that's amazing. Thank you so much for that. And I think that's the most important thing, is, of course, is the downside is that, of course, because the festival's not running, we can't have stands at the food festival. So for you to be able to do that is such a good creative idea. So all you need to do is head across to your website, which is What a Pickle.
What a Pickle. If you put What a Pickle into Google and it comes up. It's got some rather irritating hyphens in it, but don't worry about those.
Google What a Pickle. And then, of course, anything that's purchased through the website from now for 7 days, 30% of that will go into the food festival to allow us to support. So, you know, you can go and buy some of this incredible produce we've been talking about, but also, of course, you're also going to be getting that give back, which is going to be working to the festival. On the other back of it, I was going to say, you know, have you had any sort of moments where you've got really good memories of Ludlow, or things that are sort of, you know, what it's always what I try and pick, you know, when we're chatting to producers about Ludlow, and or you know, why it's so important to you, or, you know, anything like that really.
You know, I suppose collectively it must be the most exhausting 3 days that you do in the whole year.
Yeah.
But somehow, because you are having such a lovely time, I look at it as 3 days of heaven really, because it's just lovely, sort of just selling and talking to customers, and actually the camaraderie between your sort of fellow sellers as well is just absolutely fantastic, and everybody is so friendly and everybody wants to help each other. And I don't have a specific thing, but it's just the whole thing that I love about it. And yes, I should be completely exhausted by the end of it, but somehow, because it is such a great thing to do. You're never tired.
I was going to say, by the end of it, you're exhausted, but you're also sort of like
But you're
energised
so,
and you're
like,
buzzing and
G'd
yeah,
up, and it's
exactly.
it's fantastic.
Sitting at home having that glass of wine, and then suddenly going, oh, wow, you know, where did that go? But you know, it's incredible, and I think for us, like I say, it's really important that, of course, we involve our producers. That's why the food festival was set up originally. It's really important for us to try and make you at home as well to understand about our producers and what they do, and also to support them, because that's important. And by supporting them, you can support us. But like I say, if you want to go on, make a donation, go to Ludlow Food Festival, head across to our website for any options on there. We are going to also, as well, we've got, as we said, a fantastic incentive to be able to go and buy What a Pickle to get the 30% donation. But we're going to be doing as well over the next sort of month and weeks. We're also going to be doing some incredible raffles. We've got some producer prizes. We've got some auctions. So please keep an eye on our social channels. But without further ado, I think it's time that I probably head off and start eating some of this fantastic tomato chili jam. So check out Camilla at What a Pickle, and also as well, please support us at Ludlow Food Festival so we can stay here and be back next year, and Camilla will have a stand selling What a Pickle at Ludlow Food Festival. Thank you so much. Thank you, Camilla.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all again soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Cool.
Oh, cool.
Just decant, yeah.
Very good.
On your thought.
Don't trip over.
I don't know how time it was. That's
Perfect.